For decades, it was dismissed as a paranoid fantasy. 6 South American dictatorships secretly coordinating assassinations across borders with CIA support. Anyone who said it out loud was written off as a conspiracy theorist. Then, a schoolteacher, tortured for 4 years, whose wife was killed by a phone call, walked into a police station basement and found the receipts. His name was Martín Almada. He wasn't a journalist or spy. In 1974, the Stroessner dictatorship arrested him for intellectual terrorism. They held him for nearly 4 years. While he was in prison, the police called his wife. They told her he was dead. Then they played recordings of him being tortured. She died from the psychological stress. After the dictatorship fell in 1989, Almada returned to Paraguay with one goal: find his file, understand what had been done to his family and why. A former policeman who wanted a job for his son drew him a map. Documents that were supposed to have been destroyed had been moved to a police station in Lambaré, a suburb of Asunción. Almada took the map to a judge. José Agustín Fernández issued a court order. They went to the station with a television crew. The police tried to block them. Officers insisted the records had been destroyed. The judge threatened to jail them all for contempt. They found a padlock on a door. Someone produced a crowbar. The lock broke. What they found inside wasn't just Almada's file. It was 593,000 pages of documentation. The bureaucratic memory of a dictatorship that believed it would have never been held accountable. Almada named it the Archives of Terror. Mixed in with the interrogation reports and prisoner files, they found the founding charter of Operation Condor. Signed November 28, 1975, the charter bore the signatures of 5 intelligence chiefs from Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Paraguay, and Uruguay. Brazil joined 6 months in. They found the original invitation letter from Manuel Contreras, the head of Chile's secret police, and they found the stated purpose of the alliance. The founders wanted to create, in their own words, something similar to Interpol, but dedicated to subversion. In other words, a continental assassination network. The documents showed prisoner exchanges between countries, coordinated kidnappings, and the US knew. Declassified CIA cables show US intelligence tracked Operation Condor from the beginning and quietly supported the regimes running it. This wasn't a conspiracy theory. It was a filing system. They kept receipts for their murders. Once those files went public, the denial stopped working. Paraguay had no amnesty laws. Pastor Coronel, the torturer who ran the archive, went to prison. But the archive's evidence reached 3 continents. In Spain, Judge Baltasar Garzón used the documents to arrest Augusto Pinochet in London. The architect of Operation Condor was finally facing justice. In Argentina, courts convicted former dictator Reinaldo Bignone to 20 years. Uruguayan Colonel Manuel Cordero got 25, the first foreign official ever extradited for human rights crimes. In Italy, courts handed down life sentences, including as recently as October 2025. Almada went looking for his own file. Instead, he found proof of an entire continental assassination network, and that proof is still being used in courtrooms today. Martín Almada died in March 2024. He spent his final decades as a human rights lawyer, using the archives he discovered to pursue justice for other victims. November 2025 marked 50 years since Operation Condor was formally founded. The anniversary brought renewed attention, but the work isn't finished. Cases are still pending. Perpetrators are still being convicted. For years, the Archives of Terror sat in a police station basement because everyone who met there assumed they would never be found. The men who signed those orders died believing their secrets were safe. So the question isn't just, how could this happen? It's, who is sitting on the next archive? They thought the files would never be found. They were wrong. If you want to know what was in those files, the assassinations, the death flights, the CIA cables, I'm working on a full breakdown. Subscribe so you don't miss it.